Hello, everyone. Welcome to Snap Take. This is Glazer of Snap Judgments, the official podcast of Marvel Snap Zone. We've got 3 great decks for you, a bundle guide, and a look at the top tournament players in Marvel Snap. Before we get started, though, we are launching a tournament league series open to everyone. It's a $1 entry. Honestly, we're just paying for prizes and paying for people's work. We're not making a profit off this, but we are charging $1 entry. You have to sign up in the Patreon, patreon.com/snapjudgments. What's going to happen is you'll be put into a pod with 32 other players. You will play 1 game per week against players in that pod. The winner of that pod will get a free season pass and put into the winners pod, where they will face single elimination to determine the tournament champion and a really big surprise. Uh, I can't tell you what that really big surprise prize is because Second Dinner won't let us data mine them anymore, but it'll be whatever the next big bundle is after that victory. So hopefully you're interested and hopefully you check this out. We've got major creators. This is your big chance to play against some of the biggest and best creators in Marvel Snap. We're talking it's guest gamings. We're talking the Lambie series. We're talking the Drewberries. We're talking Tucker. We're talking over 50 creators. I think actually we just crossed the threshold of 60 Marvel Snap content creators that will be competing in this tournament. You can compete with them too. Just check out the tournament. Hit that sub button, hit that like, hit that comment. We bring you 6 decks every week. We do more Marvel Snap content. We cover the game more thoroughly than anyone. Please check it out. If you're interested, we also have a podcast that releases on our quote unquote off day. So it is 7 days a week of content. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you check it out. Hope we can provide you value and you can help us grow. We're real close to 9,000. There'll be a huge giveaway. Actually, you know what? Right now, let's do an extra giveaway on this video. Comment this video, like, and make sure you're subscribed, and we'll pick a winner from this very video of a season pass. So let's do it. All right. Our basic outline for the day. We talked about the tournament. Next up will be questions of the day. Then we're going to look at Ika's deck. You can find Ika on Twitter. Then we're going to do the bundle guide for Starlet Surprise. Then we vote Wednesday every week. Players vote for a deck. It is, well, you'll see what the winner is, but the deck is Royce Townsend's deck, and it's not a Galactus deck, which is wild. Royce has been featured for Galactus on the channel twice. Then Tori-kun pulled the top tournament players. So we're going to look at who the top tournament players are, just so you know those names and know to look out for them. Then we've got a Revis deck. As promised, Revis has a really cool Thanos deck. And we'll finish, as always, with our shop and shoutouts. All right, Kazushi wants to know if Omega Red is better than Ms. Marvel after the latest patch. And nope. 14 is more than 11, which is basically what it comes down to. Now, often Omega Red is better on the last turn of the game. Early on, Omega Red says, I'm going to compete for this lane, and that could be powerful if you plan to give it up, but if you do, you just played a 4 or 5 that's kind of crappy, right? So, Omega Red on the last turn, particularly with like a Zabu-style card, is far more likely to be 11, and 411 is great. Omega Red is a great card, but Ms. Marvel is still one of the 5 best cards in the game, and better. Mojo the Clown wants to know my favorite 1, 2, and 3 cost cards, so we're going to take these one day at a time. So my favorite 1 cost card as a character is either Sunspot or Squirrel Girl. Al Ewing took Sunspot in, I want to say it was Ultimates, but there were a bunch of series around that time. Someone in the comments will let me know exactly. And when Sunspot was in New Mutants, he was always the Marvel character, the mutant who like had the potential to be a villainous mastermind. So in this run, he takes over AIM and becomes a villainous mastermind, but he's still a hero. He just uses tactics of masterminding things like a villain. And it's a really great run. I also love the Squirrel Girl run. I can't think of the author's name right now, but the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl was an absolutely phenomenal comic. My favorite card as a 1-coster is Bast. I absolutely love Bast. Anytime I can play Bast in a deck, I'm super happy. My favorite deck ever in Marvel Snap was the Valhalla deck, the Thanos bounce deck that Lampy made as he rose to prominence. That ran Bast. I ran Bast in my bounce deck that I had Infinite with last season. I love Bast. And I think the best one dropped in the game right now is Hood. Demons have extreme value. There's a lot of ways to get demons back and get extra value from demons. And you can get value from Hood by either basting it, destroying it with Nico, turning it into a demon, or just running Annihilus. So there's just a lot of really great things you can do with the Hood, and I think it's the best card. Joe Pro wants to improve at identifying opponent's decks, and seriously, if you actually want to improve this skill, here's what you do. You open Marvel Snap Zone's top decks tier list. Den does one every week. Actually does 2 a week because there's a Conquest one and a Ladder one. You can open the Hooglin does one, Combat does one, and Cam does one also. So Cam's comes out Sundays, so if you're interested, I believe so does Combat's. I don't know when the hell Hooglin's comes out. And Cozy does one too, maybe, I think, probably. Whatever. A bunch of people do them. I like Snap Zones because it's written, and then I don't have to scroll through a video. So I would do it with the Snap Zone one, not just because I work there, but because it's far easier to actually utilize. So what you do is you go and play a game of Marvel Snap, and you take your time, you let the time run down, and you try and guess what deck it is after each turn. Write it down. And then once you've done that a few times, keep cross-checking after every game. Sorry, people just walked by outside. You keep cross-checking after every game with the Marvel Snap Zone list, and you see practice getting faster. Gamify it. Make it a game for yourself in guessing what the opponent's deck is as quickly as possible. It is right now harder than ever to guess opponent's decks, though, because the meta is completely wide open. I think there's like 6 or 7 decks that can conceivably be called the best deck off the top of my head without writing this down right now. We've got Hela, right? We've got the Sarah decks that are still everywhere. We've got Lockdown. We've got Destroy. We've got Bounce. We've got Annihilus Bounce. So that's off the top of my head. There's probably 1 or 2 more that I'm forgetting, right? So there's all these different decks that could be considered the very best deck in Marvel Snap. Oh, Thanos. So there's at least 7 decks that could be considered the best deck in Marvel Snap right now, which means that the meta is wide open because different tier 2 decks are good into different versions of the tier 1 deck. So, like, good luck predicting things right now. Use the tier list, use your best, and realize that some people are playing some jank right now. If you'd like your question read out in tomorrow's video, remember there's a video every day, so there will be a video on Monday. Please leave it in the comments. All right, our first deck is Cerebro. This is Ika's Cerebro 5. I played this for, I don't know, 15, 20 games to a 60% win rate. It's got a almost 70% win rate overall. So I played it worse than the average has been, and it's been about 100 games. So not a big sample, but a reasonable one. This deck is really, really fun. If they snap on you, where the hell? Oh yeah, there's Cerebro. If they snap on you and you don't see Cerebro, leave. There were a few games where I didn't, and it cost me every single time. You need Cerebro to win with this deck. But 28 power in a lane is a lot, and 28 power in a lane wins a lot of lanes. You should be able to get 28 in one lane and then like 14 in another and 21 in a third, and if you can do that, then the opponent's going to have a really hard time beating you. Omega Red can push you over the top here, but Omega Red is not a key card here. Supergiant is, generally speaking, better because it protects your Cerebro. Good? All right, I don't think you really need Supergiant, but she steals matches. You use Supergiant and Snap, and a lot of times they just have to run. You can tell they're playing things like Ceradex and so on. You just smash them with Supergiant. It's a tech card that both protects your Cerebro, has 5 power for Cerebro, and then just does really good stuff. If you don't have Supergiant, though, try Stegron. Silk is needed for the deck. You can't play it. Ika is great, and you can check out his great decks at twitch.tv/Ika_MTS, so please do so. Also, I'm giving my final review of Supergiant in tomorrow's video, just so you know. Every week we do a final review, a last chance review of the new card of the week in the Monday video. Tomorrow's Monday, therefore that will be there. All right, next up, this one's 68%, excuse me, in only 60 games, so maybe I did pull it down. I played all of my games with the tracker on, so here we are. Turn 1 is pass. Turn 2, Medusa, Silk, and Lizard depend on what else in hand. If you think you're going to play Enchantress, or you have Luke that you're going to play, then Lizard is great. If you've got Miles in hand, then Silk is the priority. And if you have neither, and you have all 3 in hand, and the center is clear, I will almost always Medusa. Although if they're running Shadow King, you feel a little silly, although you could have Luke too. Spidey, Ghost, and Luke, and that depends on what you did on turn 2. Ghost is ultimately the safest, but Ghost often means that you're not dooming on 6. Ghost often means, like Ghost and Supergiant is a waste, right? So Ghost will often mean you go something like, you go Ghost into turn 6, Cerebro, and another 3. Turn 6, Cerebro and Spidey, Cerebro and Luke. Good? Alright, turn 5 is usually Cerebro and a 2 after a Supergiant. If you played Omega Red, it still often has to be Cerebro because Doom is a 21 power play all by himself, so that's just too much to give up. Or if you move Silk, you can play a 3 in Miles. Or if you use Spidey, you can play a 3 in Miles, and that's often a really good play. Then Cerebro in a 2, then Doom or Red in a 2. This deck could really use one more 2, but there's not really a way to get there without cutting Enchantress. And there's not another 2/5, so here we are. Okay. This is a sad 3/4 Hipper, Cage, Ghost, Spider-Man, and Omega Red. I got the Cerebro the other day, and I couldn't remember if I ever featured it, so here it is. Oh, Medusa, so we're at 5, so we're not too sad. Here we are. I did not get the Spotlight Supergiant. I'm not getting the Spotlight variants. It annoys me that they're not releasing variants for cards, and I refuse to. We got some other cool ones here, though. I really like these variants. And these are ones we haven't seen in a while. So this is the Lizard from the recent in-store event in the Nuver shop. This is Spotlight Silk. We have this cool Cerebro I just got. We've got the, what's her name, Sylvie Enchantress from some bundle. This is my favorite Miles. I like it the best. And I have this Doom with the gold background, and it's gorgeous, and I love it. All right, next up we have the Starlet Surprise Bundle, and it's poop. It's not poop. That's not fair. This is less than 10% better than a Token Tuesday. Cool. So if you like if you're buying Token Tuesdays every week, you can just, and you have the gold, you can buy this, and it's the same thing. But we like to save our gold for better things. This is a very high demand Sarah. People love Sarah. People love Rian. People really want this variant. So they're giving us very little cosmetic value and saying if you want it, pay for the variant. So if you want it, pay for the variant. Don't buy it for progression. It's a terrible deal. Simple enough? Cool. Don't get it. Next up, we vote Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we vote for a card to feature in a deck. Our winner this week is Hazmat, which is this Royce Hazmat deck. It is a combo deck. It is janky as hell, and I love it. It is so much fun. This is a strictly fun tier deck, although Royce got an infinity ticket with it. Sorry, an infinity border with it, because Royce is a beast. If you see the right matchups, like into a lot of Thanos, this is going to like completely wreck face. They're going to sit there with a bajillion crappy stones, and then you're going to debris them and give them the debris stones, and then they die. The game is over. So there's this does have its good matchup into a lot of tier 1 stuff, but it can be dangerous or scary because like you need your combo pieces. Basically, you can double debris, which is your goal, right? Double debris with either Typhoid or Hazmat, and then you Annihilus and give them all your stones, and then you've basically filled their board and you win. You can also Grandmaster on Hazmat and give everything -2 and then drop your own Luke, which is pretty damn good. You can even do Hazmat Absorbing Man into Grandmaster fairly often, which is a very nice play pattern. I prefer the Debris play pattern and hold out for it real nice. All right, so this needs Zabu, Grandmaster, and Annihilus. You can't cut them. I really want Sentry, but there is not a good cut for Sentry because you need Shadow King and Enchantress. So Hood mid is my general turn 1 play. I want to keep my sides open for Grandmaster. Turn 2 Zabu, and then straight up, you don't want to play another 2, right? So like you'll play Hood on 2, but you won't play any of the other 2s on 2. Turn 3 Debris is your key. Magic is fine, but Debris is your key. Turn 4 Grandmaster into Debris plus Hazmat. Or you can drop an Absorber Man on that Debris, or you can drop a Typhoid and just start giving your stones -1. Turn 5, Annie is better than Magic plus Hazmat, usually. If you're going to go Magic, you can sometimes, if you don't have enough stuff, like if you didn't get the Debris, you can go Magic and Hazmat and then spend turn 6 going Absorbing Man. And that's usually pretty good, especially if you have Zabu out. So you can go like Absorbing Man Enchantress, and then you can go Luke Shang on turn 7. Cool. That's the play. Quick variant talk. Hip Zabu, hip Debris, hip Luke twice today. Hip Annihilus. As always, we go the Jacinto, Shang, and Enchantress together. Oh, and hip Absorbments. And Typhoid. Pfft, we're doing fine with hips in this deck. So we're at a, let's try that again. Zabu, Debris, Luke, Abs, Typhoid, Annihilus. We're at a 6 hip deck. Love to see it. So, yeah, we also have the Jacinto combo. And then that's enough for this one. All right, so Torikun tallied up all the top players from Snap Battle Arena, Snap Fan Opens, and Snap Clash Opens, which are the major tournaments of last year. There have been different tournaments this year. We're starting the Snap Judgments League. Hopefully, we'll get some stats in there too. But this is the actually, we'll definitely keep stats for the Snap Tournament League. Why the hell would we not? So yeah, we're gonna start doing that. Just decided right now as Gunny watches this video and goes, "We're doing what now?" Yeah, why would we not? This should be simple enough. We will have someone make a spreadsheet and just keep everyone's stats. We'll have major tournament stats for the Snap Judge League. Okay, but in all the major tournaments last year, these are the people who did the best. There's KJB, which who unsurprisingly won two, made three top eights. Basically, made top eight and then either won out or lost on the top eight. KJB is a former Pokemon champion, so not surprising to see that card skill translate. Longtime viewers of this channel know Jet. Jet won one of these, came in second, third, and then second, fourth once, and then top eight two more times, which is phenomenal. Jet is the player who's currently playing that Phoenix Force deck. We've seen Jet on this channel no less than 3 times. Jet's phenomenal. Desmond is my personal favorite of the tournament players here, or the personal most featured of the tournament players here. Desmond is another player who is absolutely dominant, constantly makes the cut, has not crossed the threshold of a win. So, Snap Fan Open major tournament is happening in early March, and I fully plan to spend my time watching it. It's just all the best tournament players in one big old tournament. Yeah, Desmond's phenomenal, and we featured Desmond, I want to say, Wednesday and Thursday last week. We cover basically all Desmond decks. Hi, Desmond. Hope you're doing well. All right, Jungcat is a name I know. I used to do commentary on Snap Fan Opens and Snap Battle Arena, so I know almost all these players. There's two I don't. I'll tell you when we get there. I know the name Jungcat, but I don't know anything about Jungcat. Jungcat won twice. I don't even remember that. That might be before my time. Torikun is Torikun. He's the person that won the biggest money tournament ever in Snap. He is an incredibly friendly person. When Thanos Lockjaw first came out and I was learning to play it, Torikun hopped into a random call and taught me how to play it. And I will forever be grateful for Torikun, who really helped me with that, which really ended up helping with content creation. Incredibly nice person. If you'd like to learn more about Torikun, he finished number 5 last season on Infinite Ladder and was on the Snapshot podcast with KM and Brendan last week. The Human Spider is the player who plays Thanos Lockjaw all the frickin' time. Human Spider is free to play and dominates Marvel Snap. Really nice person, plays obviously phenomenally well. I have no idea who Theseus is, but I really do enjoy his ship. We have Browde. Browde is a friend, Marvel Snap News, this Marvel Snap Bugle over on Twitter. I like Browde a lot. He's been on the podcast. He's a brilliant player, incredibly kind person, Israeli. Just a all around good stand up dude. He streams every day on Twitch. You can find Browde on Twitch if you go to twitch.tv/Browde during the day. You will find Browde and get to watch really high level Marvel Snap. OKKJ is another player. OKJK, excuse me, is another player whose name I recognize from being the top 8 a lot, but I don't remember much about them. Again, unfortunately, just again a name I know. What am I? Is a brilliant player. They're the ones who came up with this incredible double bounce list that came in second once. And then I remember this other time they came in second. I believe it was they were the people that were doing Invisible Woman shenanigans that were both absolute, or were they Patriot? Whatever. Absolutely phenomenal player. I really, really enjoy What Am I. What Am I is one of my favorite tournament players in Marvel Snap. But it's worth noting that only one of these people is really a streamer proper, right? Like a lot of these very best players are not streamers. I'm also let's talk about that at the end. We have Ybona. I have no idea who Ybona is. Props to getting there though. Ami21 is a name I know, and Ragex is a name I know. Ragex, I believe, played some really cool stuff, but I don't remember exactly what. Ragex was hitting top 8 while I was doing commentary, as was Ami. I don't know Bona, and I don't know Theseus, unfortunately. But again, so only one of these people is really a streamer. I've become friendly, hopefully becoming friends with. I really enjoy them as people. The entire top of the Infinite Ladder right now, like the people that are at the top of Infinite Ladder basically every season, and very few of them are streamers too. There's more streamers there, right? Because part of streaming is playing a lot, and that really does help for there. But I think it's interesting, just like what the balance is between streamer and non-streamer in terms of tops of competition. Also, many, at least 3 or 4 of these people will be in the Snap Judge League. So let's go. All right. Our final deck is Revis's Giant Swan. I actually literally just talked to Revis about this deck like 5 minutes before. Revis was like, that deck is really fun. He had like a 70% win rate with it, right? Like he was like, I went like 15-7. Sorry about that, excuse me. And I went like 13-2. I went 5-0 on my on my computer, which is where I keep my stats because it auto loads, honestly. There's no deck tracker on the mobile version, so I don't even bother loading it. But I was winning a bunch with it on my mobile version, and I was like, I guess I better play this on the tracker to see how I'm doing, and then I went 5-0. So I'm pretty sure this deck is legit, although once this deck gets out, it's a quarter as effective as it could be, right? What makes it so legit right now is that you have a bajillion plays, and no one knows what the hell you're doing. You're playing a bunch of cards together that no one expects to go together. No one expects in a Thanos deck for you to go Super Giant into Absorbing Man, right? No one expects you to go Black Swan into all the stones into Valkyrie. But you can, right? If you go Super Giant into Absorbing Man, you can then play Valkyrie in a stone and win. Or you can play Alioth and win 2 lanes, right? You can also just go Black Swan, drop 10 million stones, right? You can go ramp into Blue Marvel, into Black Swan, or just regular play Khazar into Black Swan and Dazzler, and then you can drop 1 million stones and Valkyrie on the last turn of the game and just say GG's. This deck is incredibly cool for stuff like that. I'm a big, 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 big fan. All right, so Thanos, Swan, and Supergiant are all needed for this deck. It's the deck that I think works with all these cards actually working together best. Iron Lad can be Beast or Ant-Man. I think Iron Lad is the single least important card in this deck, although it is a good card. And you can find more of Revis at youtube.com/@RevisSnap. He doesn't have gameplay for this video, but maybe we can make him make some, right? You can find him also on Twitch at the same name. All right, so this is super strong and fun. Again, I had a stupid win rate. It's right now got a 60% win rate in Infinite in 100 games. So that's real stats. So turn 1, you use stones to draw. Turn 2, Daredevil over Dazzler. Turn 3 is Swan, usually. And turn 4 is Supergiant. Swan gives you Prio. So if you want Prio, you go Swan Supergiant. Then you go Supergiant with a bunch of stones to get priority. And then your Absorbing Man Alioth thing wins the game. If you don't have Prio, you can still Absorb Man into Valkyrie. So there's also just play Dino or Blue Marvel just fine. There's also turn 4 play Khazar just fine. And then turn 5, you can also still play Black Swan. If you have Prio, you can Alioth. If not, you can Valkyrie plus a 1. If you played Swan on 5, you play all the stones in Valkyrie, and if you played every stone, you can just drop a casual 20 power Thanos as well. Quick look at variants. This is a beautiful, beautiful deck. Part of why I like it so much. We got Hip Dazzler, Hip Hazmat, Hip Khazar, Hip Lad, Hip Blue Marvel, Hip Alioth. So that is 6 hips, along with several of my other favorite variants. The Rian Valkyrie, my favorite Valkyrie. This Daredevil, I think my favorite variant of the game. And I will have this Thanos this week. I am opening for it. Absolutely. Devil Dino, and I need a Black Swan and Supergiant. I'll have a Black Swan relatively soon, right? But Supergiant will take time because they have to release variants for her. Let's sigh. All right. Finally, this is my shop. I don't care about it. I didn't save yesterday's shop, but I got the armor. I got the hip armor that's, again, on freaking real animated. It looks great. She, like, floats in the armor almost like it's liquid. It's gorgeous. I love it. I got it. We're happy. All right. Certain tiers of support on Patreon. The top tier of support on Patreon comes with on-air thanks. So we're going to thank the following people. We got Abigail Giesland, Mandatory Burnout, Cables, DG Wingfield, Direwolf, LAB, Fothor Newman, Good Dog Gamer, Inc., Jane Everett, JD McDonaldino, Aquila Platono, Caretix League, Koire, J Bussy, Models, Louis Antunes, Matt Conduit, Matt H, Mikey Hijinks, NoFlex, Ocularis, Pretty Chill, Seamus, Spike Jones, Two Ties, Tucker, X-Force V, and of course, the Homie Min. Appreciate all of you more than you know. All right. So I don't think any of these decks are like world beaters today, but I think they're all really good decks. And I think they all prey on different variations of the best decks in the game right now. That Thanos deck in particular, I think is like really close to being something, and it might be something, and it's just got so many weird cards that like I'm doubting it when I shouldn't be. I'm a big fan, is what I'm telling you. I'm a real big fan. Hopefully, you're a fan of this video. You enjoyed it. You hit that sub, like, and comment. Don't forget, we're giving away a season pass. We'll see you tomorrow for another Snap Take. Appreciate ya. Peace.